Hey everybody, it's Roy from A&S Gear, and we are looking at another option from Hera Arms today. This is the Hera Arms AR15 grip right here. So this will mount up to, for the paintball industry, I'm trying to think of what it would work for paintball. We've got a T15 in front of us right now. So First Strike T15, this will mount up to that, but any paintball gun that uses a standard AR15 grip on it should work for this one right here. So we're using the T15 just as an example right here, but it'll work for other things. Airsoft, I wouldn't go with an airsoft version for this because typically airsoft guns in the grip right here is where the motor sits, and this does not accommodate a airsoft motor. So paintball only or real firearm setup, but we're not dealing with that. We're talking about airsoft and paintball. So I've got the T15 right here. We're gonna pull off the foregrip, sorry. Been doing foregrips today too. The grip right here, the pistol grip, and we're gonna put this one on instead. So this one right here does have a removable bottom to it. You just pop it off and plop it back on there. It does not spin around. You can't put it on both ways, I don't believe. No, it only goes one direction, just like that. And then we need it off though for right now. There is two mounting holes inside there. You can see them. We will not be using both of them, just one. We'll grab our 3/16 Allen key and we're gonna put it down inside there, and we are going to unscrew this one off of here. Now, one thing before I pull it off of here, if we look at the new grip we're putting on, there is a tiny little hole right here. You can see it in the side of the grip right there. That is important, and I'll show you why in just a minute. So when we pull this off, we do not want to be doing this over dirt or anywhere where you might be able to lose things. Underneath here is a spring that is going to be pushing up into the selector switch right here. This is what creates the tension on the selector switch. So as we pull away right here, we want to make sure that we do not lose that spring. And then we need that as well right there. If this falls out and the spring falls down, this is just going to rotate around in here with no locking positions on there. It's just going to kind of flop around. The pin that goes into it, let's see if I can get that to fall out right there, is right here. Okay, so this pin goes up into our selector switch. It actually rides in this little groove right here, and it pops into these little indexed locations, causing this to have a tactile feedback when it locks into a certain firing mode, either safety or fire. So without these pieces in here, we would run into a problem. And this just sits like that, and then goes up into the hole that is on the grip. So we're gonna put this back in, right there. We'll put it in the safety. We're going to put our pointer or our indexer back in there, and then we're going to put our spring back on top here. Now the spring is going to want to move around, so just kind of be careful on how you set that on there. If it won't sit for you like this one is happening to do right now, or now it just fell off, what you can also do is take a little bit of grease, paintball grease, and put it on the hole, and then you can slide that in there, and it will hold it in place. Now this one right here, this hole is feeling just a bit narrow for this. So I'm kind of just turning this in here. I want to see if I can get this to sit a little bit deeper in there before I go ahead and try to mount this up. And it won't. So for this particular setup, with this spring, which easily fits down inside of that one right there, putting this one into here, I would need to make this hole a little bit wider to fit this spring. I mean, I can kind of get it in there. It's not too terribly bad, and I'm just kind of twisting it as I'm pushing it in there, getting it to kind of wind its way down inside there. I want to see if that's far enough that we can still do this setup with the spring No, it's not. It's just wanting to bend that around in there. So this is a complication that you might run into. I did not foresee this happening, but it is, which is good, I guess. So I don't think I'm going to be able to widen this out just by sitting here. I'm going to try. I'm just taking an Allen key that's a little big for the hole right there and just rolling it around in there. If this doesn't work, what I would do is I would take a small drill bit and then just kind of widen out that hole a little bit. But the setup is going to be the same. Regardless of what is required for it, what we're going to have to do here is the same. So that's not going to work in there. So what you would need to do for this particular one is this little hole, you need to drill that hole out just a tiny bit. You don't want to way overdo it, just enough so that this spring can drop down inside there. We're going to leave the spring out because I don't want to bend or crush this spring because I need to put it back into this one over here when I'm all done. So I'm just going to leave it off to the side. We're going to pretend like that spring was inside there. So now we're going to drop this on here and we're going to feed our screw through the bottom. So we're using the front hole, this hole right there, and it's very obvious which one you need to use. You just drop it on there and look through. There's only one hole that lines up on there. So what we're going to do is do this. We're going to put that through right there. We're going to flip it back over again, line it up, and then go ahead and put that right in there. And there we go. It's a very easy setup. I'm surprised that that screw doesn't just drop right in there, but it happens, you know. We can put our bottom back on, and there we go. We've got a completely different look and feel. Pistol grip on side of there has this top that rolls up. A lot of people like that because their rest right here goes right up inside, sits right up against there. You can see that you're missing that piece altogether on the original setup right there. So just a little bit more comfort, a little bit more support on there. But you can see, look at that. Because I don't have that spring in there, this thing's just flopping around. You definitely want to have that spring in there. Just need to make a couple modifications to make it work correctly. So that is the Hera AR15 pistol grip. It's available through the website. Depending on what you put it on, you might need to modify that hole just a tiny bit to make sure that spring fits in there. But that's an easy modification. Get your gear at ansgear.com.